52 Network Marketing Tips is brought to you by Leaders Club. Get your own custom 90-day success plan, including one-on-one support from a personal success advisor, exclusively at leadersclub.com.
Back in tip 10, we talked about two big mistakes that most marketers make, but are actually pretty easy to avoid. In the tens of thousands of email messages we've tracked that don't make those two basic mistakes, we still found that over 90% failed to engage the reader, meaning that they didn't deliver a focused message that actually appealed to the person reading the email. In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips for crafting focused and engaging email messages. You see, in our own tests, we've found that we've been able to increase response rates by over 300% by simply applying a few engagement rules. We've also been able to increase the end conversion of a prospect by over 85% by simply maintaining the proper focus in our message. This means that not only do our prospects act on our email, but once they do, they're more likely to complete the process or the task that we got them to start on, like fill out a form or buy a product. The first rule of staying focused in your email is to start with your end objective in mind. And this is actually where a lot of marketers stumble. They aren't really sure what their end objective is, so they either throw in everything plus the kitchen sink, hoping that somehow the reader will find something they like, or they think that they can sell their entire company, product, opportunity, and all in one fell swoop. But to be effective, you can't have more than one objective, period. Which takes us to the second rule of focus, and that's to never sell in the inbox. People are remarkably resistant to email marketing. Generally, people are not going to buy from an email message. There's usually one or more steps in between there before they buy, especially if they don't have a relationship with you. What people are much more willing to do is to click on a link, for example. But that's only provided you've given them sufficient reason for doing so, which is a benefits equation. But that's a more advanced topic, and we don't really have time to deal with it here. So let's talk about the second half of crafting a focused and engaging email message. And that is that while you have to start out knowing what your objective is and you have to have this singular focus, your message should never be about what you want. Because a reader really doesn't give a crap about what you want. I know, it's a little harsh, but it's simply a fact that too many marketers gloss over. Your prospect isn't that into you. Which is why the number one principle in writing marketing copy is to use you language rather than I language. When you proofread your message, are you primarily talking to the reader in your writing? In other words, are you using you, or are you talking about yourself or your company, or in some other way focused on I words? If you're focused on I, you need to fix it. The second principle for engagement is to think service rather than selling. And there's an awful lot of hype in email, and I think this stems from the basic drive to sell. And so often that escalates to a say anything you have to make the sale kind of mentality. And while hyping things may get you a sale once in a while or make it easier, it also creates a very high rate of buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse kills a lot of network marketing businesses because it just totally destroys the relationship on which the business must be built. Principle number 3 is to be charming rather than pushy. You know, engaging messages are those that draw us in with the force of their personality. They have a pleasing or an attractive tone. So often we find messages that do the exact opposite. They repulse the reader by being pushy, by being overbearing, by being arrogant, or even downright rude. If you want to learn how to craft better email messages and actually create lasting connections with your prospects, I want to encourage you to sign up for our 90-day individualized success plan. No other training plan has been proven more effective, even those that cost 10 times as much. See you on the next tip.